right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to NGS Division B Southeast matchup between Bad by Design and Beat Gen. 40 seconds to feed. We are here tonight. These teams are getting ready, about to jump in here. They are ready to go. I'm going to jump over here to the map bans and picks here, show us just how we got to where we are. So we had Bad by Design. Going to go ahead and get rid of BOE and Towers of Doom, and 40 seconds to feed, getting rid of Alterac Pass and Dragonshire, and 40 seconds to feed, opting for the map pick, for going the first pick, and they opted for the Tomb of the Spider Queen. Very popular map here. I'm just going to jump over here, tell the teams that we are ready so we can get right into this draft. But I am hoping for some good team comps here. Wave clear is generally the name of the game here on this particular map. You want to see the wave clear, want to get all of the spider butts, turn them in. But you can kind of draft for team fight as well, because the enemy team can't hold on to the spider butts, and they cannot turn them in if they're dead. Lighthouse throwing shade at the graphics. Hey, listen, it did say season 11, so the math is correct, and we are gonna get in here into these incredible maps. Hello, welcome to everybody in the chat. Glad to see you. These teams are ready to go. Looks like we should be starting here any second. Love the icon synergy here between both of these teams. Speaks for itself against my team, who can't get anything coordinated with their lives. A little less facial hair from that point here. But here we go, getting into this draft. My favorite part of the game here, the back and forth, the chess match here. But two new teams, two new titans potentially here in the B division. Three Div B divisions this season for season 11. Some weird playoff stuff happening. But both these teams looking to make their mark. So here we go. Hogboy going to opt for the first ban, not letting 40 seconds to feed take that, even though they did have first pick, so they could have left it. So a Hogger player not in the whims here. Moist Weenus, Jesus. Weenus, my man, thank you so much for the gifted sub. You really didn't have to. I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Hopefully your dinner date with your friend is going well. Hopefully you had some yummy food. And out comes that Chromie ban. Chromie is really good in the current meta, potentially a really good Chromie player on the side of BBD. But all around good meta ban there coming out. So we'll see as these games play along. Kind of, especially with new teams, not sure what people play. Could be, first time in a while playing. There goes that Gaz boy. Good combo initiator, good initiator for the team fights. Can kind of stall out the turn-ins as well with his turrets. So see you later, alligator. He kind of looks like an alligator, right? Get him out of here. We're not dealing with that anymore. No, you, Weenus. You. All right, and Zul'jin, get it out of here. No longer bugged, but just really good in the current meta. Can kind of bully a tank and bruisers. Maybe giving away what 40 seconds wants to do here. But Pop and Fresh going to first pick that Diva. Can double rotate. Has the heal depending on talents at level 1. Can take camps safely as well, not having to be to the detriment. But out comes that Johanna. Makes sense for the Zul'jin ban. Out comes Tychus as well. Great current auto attacker in the meta, and just an all-around good tank buster. So taking that in the 1-2, great strategy, great pickup there by 40 seconds to feed. Could see an Anduin, could see the Light Bomb Johanna combo, but out comes Slice is going to pick up that May, and Captain Crowley going to grab that Cassia. So double beef, picking double beef into that Tychus. Cassia has okay wave clear, but she does, even nerfed, most recently, still does a tremendous amount of damage, but does have to fend in there, so does have to worry about. I expect probably Q build, but blinds coming out on both sides of the team here, but Cassia and May, both with blinds, trying to deal with Snag on that Tychus. And Stooky Dookie is going to get the ban here, not going to be able to get picked up by Alphine or Lathendra here. And the third and final ban coming out over here. Let's see, maybe a healer, maybe they do ban the Anduin here. Don't want to see that Johanna Light Bomb combo, but it is the Oofer. Now Gibbs, I know Gibbs plays a really good Ana. We could potentially see that here, but like I said, Anduin is available. Like I said, that Wombo combo with the Odin, and then whatever damage dealer that Linehouse sees fit. Could be a mage, could be his Jaina, could be his Kael'thas. I know he likes Captain Pew Pew, as he calls it, is the Rainer, but there we go. There is the Kael'thas, and there is the Anduin. So the combo is online for 40 seconds to feed. Now let's see how BBD wants to draft into this. Bad by design. You know, they're very squishy backliners for, for 40 seconds to feed. Johanna, not the utmost tank when it comes to peel. So out comes the Jaina, needed that wave clear and the burst damage, and Deckard. Okay, so they're going to offer Deckard, which isn't too bad. Can stay a while and listen into the ice wall if Slice opts for it instead of the avalanche, the Devo bomb as well. So kind of their own little wombo combo there as well. Now Romedy in the off lane. Zul could be a good pickup here. I'm trying to think what really trades into Diva very well. Could opt for something like Phoenix. Phoenix can offlane pretty safely. Does have that ranged damage to deal with the Diva. And it's going to be the ETC. Potentially stage dive. I don't mind to see it. But we can also see, okay, there is the swap. I was going to say we could see the swap here. Love to see the double soak Johanna here. So we may see 40 seconds to feed. Maybe just hard push one particular lane. And Diva can clear waves, but I would assume not as fast as Johanna here. So I am excited to get into this one here. Tremendously uncomfortable. Stooky Dookie is the reason for the ban. You are 100% right. Heard that from the friends here. So everyone in chat, not sure, you know, which particular, I'll jump over here so you can see it. Which draft do you like better? I mean, we got the side of Bad by Design with the May, double blinds into Snag's Tychus, but the extreme beefiness between the ETC and the Johanna there as we get into this. So we will jump over here to the left side and announce these teams. We have Captain Crowley on the Cassia, Alphine on the Deckard, Slice on May, Poppin' Fresh on Diva, and Lathendra on that Diva. And over here on the right-hand side in the red trunks for 40 seconds to feed, we have Gibbs on, well, actually McGiblets on the Kael'thas, Snag on that Tychus, Romedy swapping over to the Johanna, Jinxie on ETC, and Linehouse on the Mandoin.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go. Match number 1 for both of these teams. Both new teams. We will ceremoniously probably spray, maybe a little dance, little taunt here in the mid lane. Slice trying to get an aggressive positioning here in the middle. Romney doing a great job using the blind there to scout that bush. No face checks here where we are. So the name of the game here is going to be the wave clear. We will see 40 seconds to feed clear this a little bit quicker and get a head start on the rotations here.
Shatter the metal spiders. Bring the gems of power to my altar.
All right, and let's pull up these talents so we can see where these teams kind of belong. We are going to see the root and some of the poke damage coming out from Snag. Blizzard is going to get dropped by May just to try and zone off onto this wave. And we're going to get slowly caught up here. Jinxie doing a great job trying to stall the rotations here. But they're going to leave Captain Crowley down here kind of alone, but just doing a great job at staying by the safety of their own wall here. But going to have to catch that wave. And they're looking to engage here 4v3. Out comes the stun. Jinxie doesn't time it that well, but does get the boot back into Snag. Snag using the trait to chunk down Slice, but May is going to take care of herself there, grab a couple Capri Suns, and top herself off. We do see the mech go down here in the bot lane. Robity going to poke down the D.Va there a little bit, as we do see this little scruffle here in the mid lane. But Romney going to rotate up here, and the blind and the stun coming out on to Jaina, and down she goes. Slice also taking a little bit more damage, going to get a lot of that flame burst damage coming out from the Kael'thas there. And first blood going over to 40 seconds to feed, but down comes Snag, gonna pop in this bush, looking to kill the baby D.Va. She's not gonna rotate, or actually she's gonna be okay. Does pop the mech, but does lose half that health. Does have tap available. Coming back up here in the top lane, Jaina finding her way back here. Four's just about online for 40 seconds to feed. And there they are. Let's take a look at these level 1 talents. We do have the Thunderstroke for the Cassia, the pretty standard build currently in the current meta. She did receive a nerf to her auto attack damage, so that seems to be the way to get her a little bit more powerful. Level 1 talents pretty straightforward across the board here. Let's see. We do have Loss of Hope coming out from the Johanna. Makes sense to me, being in the offlane, not necessarily being the front line of the team, and then just being able to self-sustain in the lane. Bigger they are, opting for that particular talent instead of the stacks talent. I like this one. Puts the enemy heroes at 30% health and let Kael'thas finish them the rest of the way here. And 12 stacks already for the Mana Addict talent on Kael'thas, just doing out here. But we're going to see the rotate down here onto Poppin' Fresh, but unfortunately not enough CC. She does escape. The grenade going to come out from Snag, but it is not quite enough. Sub 100 health, and Poppin' Fresh lives to tell the tale. But Althene's going to rotate down here to just at least safely catch Soak here. And 1 gem away is 40 seconds to feed from the first turn-in of the game. Let's see if they opt to try the turn-in. Nothing turned in yet. They may opt to maybe grab enough gems to turn in twice, wait for that level 10 like some teams like to do. But we do see Bad by Design going to go ahead and cap this Bruiser camp. It is starting to push down in the mid lane, going to get cleared out pretty easily by 40 seconds to feed. But all the while, they are down here in that bot lane, grabbing that bottom siege giant camp here. And we do see Johanna just rotating up there mid. Snag is kind of bullying D.Va here a little bit, and Slice does have the vision for the team, is going to dodge that gravity lapse, but trying to get the stalling and the scouting for the team. Poppin' Fresh is just trying to clear these giants. Slice finding herself in a little bit of trouble. Tychus just shreds that ice block. Out comes the damage. Does she have enough to heal? And she does. 50 health on Slice there. Careful of not spreading that bomb. Well done by Althene there, just being in the right place at the right time for the front line. Both teams now have turn-in. You might see a little scrap here. The Condemn is going to come out. Catch Captain Crowley is going to fend in there, but needs to be careful trying to fend into... Excuse me, and down. We missed it down here in the bot lane. Down goes Snag. Going to lose the gems. They still have... Romney down here to pick up those gems. They still have turn-in, but Poppin' Fresh down here looking to turn in 20. Jinxie Cat is down here with 30 of her own gems, looking to turn in those as well. Does get the slide off, does get the cancel. The blind coming out from Slice. So all the frontliners down here poking around. We do see, this hot healer on healer action. I do apologize that we did miss that particular one, but we do have Deckard taking down Mandoin himself, and that may put Bad by Design in a situation to get the first turn into the game. Oh, and there it is. So let's see what lane Bad by Design decides to prioritize here in the push. Out comes the ice block, but unfortunately the Snag on that Tychus just does a tremendous amount of damage to Mei in that ice block, and down she goes with the help of Kael'thas there. So we do see majority of the team for 40 seconds to feed going to just clear out mid here, while Lathendra and Jaina up here, Althene and Lathendra up top trying to do that, but they do see the team rotating up here as well. I do like opting for the mid lane myself. It helps with you can push lane out and get a lot of vision here in the mid lane on both of these turn-ins if you can get this wall. So I do like what Bad by Design has going on here. All right, and the slide coming in from Jinxie Cat into the back line. The Captain Crowley is going to fend in there. The blind is still out onto Jinxie. She is a little below. Slice is going to dive underneath that. That is 34 gems. The sleep comes out, does miss Snag, but out comes The Valkyrie is going to miss Snag. Snag is on the chase, trying to take down Captain Crowley. In comes Romney. Jinxie is no longer here, but Romney can be an active front line for the team as they look to clear out these lanes here, push them back out, and get turn in for themselves. Excuse me here, while I just take a quick breath. So we do see 40 seconds to feed, trying to get a turn in. Poppin' Fresh does come in, does have that Diva Bomb. They do force that out. Great turn of events there. The Unstoppable getting popped by the Johanna. But 10s all around the line. So we did see the Valkyrie, we did see the Stay a While and Listen. Slice did go Avalanche on that May. We do have Welly coming out from the Jaina, as well as the missiles, micro missiles is what they're called. Turn in online for 40 seconds to feed. They do have 10s. We're going to see the Mosh Pit. We are going to see Falling Sword, the Odin, the Light Bomb, and the Phoenix. So here we go. They're just a wombo combo dump. Push all the R buttons. Comp is what 40 seconds to feed is looking for here. Slice finding herself up there in the top lane, but that's where 40 seconds to feed wants to push. They want to push out this boss lane. That way they can get their wombo combo online, get some picks, grab the boss, and hope to end the game. But here comes the rotation down. They do see them. Out comes the Falling Sword combo. Out comes the Light Bomb as well onto Romney. Two people stunned into that, but out comes the amazing Avalanche coming out. Ping's coming out onto Slice, hitting that Mosh Pit. Jinxie Cat taking that tower damage for the team, is going to be able to escape with a life. Does get rooted and stunned from that Blizzard, but will live to tell the tale. No deaths there. A lot of buttons pushed, a lot of ults consumed. But well done there. Great defense by Jinxie Cat stepping up here a little bit, needs to be careful. Out comes the slow and the root, but does get the stun and the boot back onto Deckard. Deckard is a bruiser himself, needs to be careful there. But Slice and Captain Crowley here onto the flank of the team. Snags is stepping up, starting to clear this wall to give them a little bit more space. And then Robbie just doing a great job zoning for the team to get out of there. So looking here at structure watch here. So far the mid fort is almost gone, but 40 seconds to feed was successful in taking that top fort. So currently structure wise, I would say a quarter health, a third health here. Ahead is 40 seconds to feed, but 13's just around the corner for Bad by Design. May want to get that before they can try and make the turn-in, but turn-ins available for both teams here. So as they make the play, we're going to look to see 40 seconds opt for. Out comes the Falling Sword Light Bomb combo, and great slide coming in from Jinxie Cat is going to bump back Captain Crowley, but with the avoidance, we're going to see Cassia live to tell the tale there, but in comes the Valkyrie and Stunlock out onto Jinxie Cat. Down she goes. Out. Odin is going to get popped here to try and get some peeled on the root coming out. Chastise from the Anduin, but Slice is relentless here. Does icing in here. Looks to get in the back line. Looking to land an Avalanche. Does not connect with anybody, but they do get Anduin locked down there as well, and that is going to be a 2-for-0 kill in favor of Bad by Design, and that will opt for their second turn of the game. And Lynn Looney, my goodness, with the 5 gifted subs. Friends, thank you so much for your generosity. I am here to Cassie's friends, give you guys great games, but your generosity is just appreciated so much so. I'm going to have some sub stuff in the works and some emotes in the works as well. But thank you so much. Spreading the love. Brett and Weenus, 2 really good friends here. But okay, so now we do see the slide coming out onto Lefendra, and Jinxie is going to pop the solo mosh pit, but it does lend to a kill. Out comes the Phoenix and the Boop. They do seal the kill onto that Jaina. Snag is going to find himself off the level, but is going to be okay. Linehouse with that yeet of faith onto Snag. Not sure what maybe he thought he saw was coming in after Snag, but trying to save his friends. But the 4-man blind coming out from Cassia there, but nothing is going to happen. We're going to see Slice rotating down here once to finally end that mid fort once and for all here. Taking a peek down here, Ramadi doing well. Poppin' Fresh does have the Diva Mech explosion here if she finds herself in a weird situation, but she is opting here too. She wants this one, but nope, will peel away with nothing else but herself to take some of those tower shots. All right, so we do see Deckard going back to excuse me here, top off, get a little mana. Nothing like getting in right in the middle of a team fight and not having any buttons to press. We see Gibbs trying to turn in about 35. The great poke coming out from Slice here is going to hit that snowball. The Blizzard is there for the zoning, but great zoning from Jinxie and company here. But there is that. But in the bottom, we do see Poppin' Fresh going to go ahead and take the bottom giants, and in comes Romedy, going to clear this up as well. But top's already pushed out, so we're going to see 40 seconds to feed here. Just probably prioritize here in the mid lane, but maybe not. We're going to see Odin get popped here pretty early to clear this camp, maybe pressure a little bit. Out comes the Valkyrie, not going to be able to connect to any members of 40 seconds to feed. Going to finish clearing up the rest of this camp. Snag is just trying to bully here Slice just a little bit. Odin does a great amount of siege damage, so I like this pop here. His auto attacks do a tremendous amount of damage as well. Unstoppable, we're going to get popped from Romedy there, making sure he's not going to get locked in under towers. So the siege is on here onto this middle fort. We're going to see 40 seconds to be back up a little bit. Out comes the Phoenix. The Web Weaver is about half health. The blind's going to come out, so great defense here. They're going to lose the wall. They should keep the fort, but we do see the 5-man rotate down here onto this D.Va. They did show a little bit. She is going to back up safely, but they think they want to maybe pressure this out, maybe give Romedy a little bit of ease of use here in the bot lane. The charge is going to come out. Out comes to stay a while and listen, but going to get caught in the gravity laps to cancel that. Great timing by Gibbs there. Poppin' Fresh is about half health, but does have that D.Va explosion. The poking from Jaina just to slow everybody there is potentially threatening to deal with that Mei as well. All right, Romedy should have trait up, but actually does not. He's going to opt to Falling Sword back to safety just to turn in Stylen and Profiling here. Why not? Let's do it. But they don't have enough gems to turn in here. They are going to rotate up here to the top. They do notice that Bad by Design does have enough spider butts to get their third turn in of the game here. All right, and Jinxie Cat doing a great job zoning for the team. Romedy just continuing to keep Soak up. 16s both online. Bad by Design does have about a 1-level lead here. Nothing dramatically so, but out comes the combo. Pings are going to come out here, and down goes Slice. So the front line is now gone outside of D.Va, but another skirmish going to break out here in the mid lane. Snag going to find himself getting poked down by Crowley there a little bit, but Linehouse is there to keep him topped off. Now Captain Crowley does have 33 gems, and they can see it on the particular map. That is at least the rest of the turn-in on himself there for the team. As we rotate down here onto Poppin' Fresh, out comes the stun, out comes the gravity lapse. Going to try and get stun locked there, but does have the D.Va the charge there, but does get rooted. What a root there by Linehouse. Fantastic job, but opting for the extra abilities on that D.Va. You don't normally see it, but into this team comp with as much CC as they had, you know what? It's not a bad idea. But the turn-in is now live for 40 seconds to feed. Now Poppin' Fresh needs to be careful here. They are opting to just go around the quick way. Jinxie does not connect that stun, but out comes the great stall onto that stay a while and listen from Romedy. Does get that falling sword, but Jinxie trying to get on the other side of Slice is not able to get any body blocks in, but out comes the Odin here, looking to siege with this Webby Weaver here, and 40 seconds to feed has her eyes set on not only this wall here, but the first keep of the game. Right, and the Web Weaver is going to step up. The blind's going to come out from Slice there. Just try to get some poke damage. The Web Weaver is about half health, but the double gravity lap's going to catch Slice and Captain Crowley. Romedy's going to step up with the command to try and pull Slice back in, but just the poke damage coming out right now is keeping 40 seconds to feed at bay. Maybe rotate up top here. Nope, they are going to go bot. They did lose their bottom fort, so maybe potentially Poppin' Fresh loses not only their life here, but 40 gems as well. So the search is on. Snags did locate D.Va there, but she does dash her way out of there back to the safety behind her fort. And not enough gems here for 40 seconds to feed as we look for Bad by Design to stabilize, get these waves, push back out. Althene Deckard giving the old wop slaps with that stick. Did she go for the wop stick? She did. Love that talent. Herodic staff putting people to sleep on that dive. Love to see it there. But starting at camp for the team, trying to restabilize here. 106 gems in the pockets of Bad by Design. Maybe looking for the back-to-back. I would expect them to maybe just try and soak to 20 here, and then opt for maybe the turn-in. If they can look to get a pick, maybe boss and turn-in. But boss has to go through a fort and a keep there, where they are looking at direct damage onto a keep. Weenus, thank you for the 69 bits, my friend. I appreciate you more than you probably already know. I know you'll know a little bit, but more than you probably know. And we do see Gibbs and Linehouse going to take the Bruiser camp here to get some counter push in here. But one of two turn-ins here for Bad by Design. But all of the combo is going to come out there onto Slice. Down goes Slice. Out comes the Valkyrie. Is going to catch Jinxie Cat. But that's the one thing you don't want is the Rock and Roll Cowboy in your backline. Out comes the Root, but it does get Jinxie Cat. But great heals coming out from Linehouse. Romney is going to jump into the backline there to disrupt as much as possible. Snag doing as much damage as possible as well. The Yeet of Faith going to save Snag, but immediately pops the Odin to help clear this as well. Romney getting awfully low, getting the poke down, does drop the 21 gems, but Linehouse is there. Jinx Cat needs to be careful. Does go down as well. The 15 gems are sitting right underneath the tower, but Poppin' Fresh is going to pop the Diva Mech Bomb, and that is a 3-for-1 kill in favor of Bad by Design, and they look to take this top fort here. Now they still, I believe, still have turn in here, as they do see, Bot still has a lot of life left here, so they may opt to take this wall here, as we do see Linehouse and Snag rotate here to the bottom Web Weaver to clear that out as well. So I think we see, with Slice back up in 8 seconds, and the remaining 3 members of 40 seconds to feed down for another 30 seconds, I think we see a boss and turn-in play here by Bad by Design, and a potentially, if things go well, maybe a core call here. All right, and that looks to be what we are doing here. We're going to see Welly there finishing up what she can. He can. Whatever it is, it's a water elemental. They can live their best life, just auto-attacking minions, slowing people. Romedy is up here going to try and help push this back as well. They have to know that they are on boss. Not much they can do here. Maybe just defend at the core. 20's now online for them as well. We have the Death Metal. We have the Heaven's Fury. We have the Big Red Button, the Glyph of Faith, and the Flamethrower as well. We see the upgrade to Respect the Elderly. Love to see that talent. And Rock Stopper as well. So in comes the slide. Jinxie is probably looking to, actually 40 seconds to feed to get that Death Mosh. But in comes the turn-in as well as the boss marches down here. So we will potentially see the final team fight of game number 1 here. We're going to see Snag go ahead and pop Odin to try and chunk this out as possible. So unfortunately, the wave is going to be pushed out here quite a bit here, so they're going to have to deal with this. But out comes the Valkyrie, but the Yeet of Faith is going to happen. The Mosh Pit does get popped, but so does the Death Mosh. We will see Slice step up into that, but it's not going to be enough. The boss is almost done. Armor is still on the core. Romney is living in the back line, trying to just peel and give the team some time. Out comes the Avalanche on to Linehouse, does get pushed back in the enemy team. Romney goes down. Linehouse does pop the light bomb to keep himself alive. Holy cow. The blind is going to come out onto Tychus, does get the grenade there, but the core is at 80% and falling. Poppin' Fresh is going to get the flame on them. GG's going to get called. In comes the Web Weaver, 35% and falling, and I think the Web Weaver will finish it off. Gibbs is doing the best that he can, and that is GG's in game number 1, going over to Bad by Design. All right, and let me update this here. All right, and we'll take a look here at the match summary. Just well done. 10 kills to 8, really close there, but Cassia, 5-4-0 stat line there. Fantastic job. Same thing with Deckard, 86k healing to Anduin's 55. Not seeing any deaths there at all whatsoever, but look at this damage coming out from Tychus, 79k to the 48. Just being able to just seal the deal on those kills. The Kael'thas, if it doesn't spread, but has a great, fantastic wave clear with Johanna in the off lane. So, unfortunately, maybe using some of those flamethrowers on the waves instead of the enemy team there. But, both these teams, hard-fought match here. Well done. Excited to hop into game number 2 here. Pardon me. Taking a look here at talents. Looks pretty standard across the board. As I peek down here a little bit, we do see Arcane Intellect getting picked up by Jaina. Now, Jaina did see that rework there with the Ice Fury wand. Not sure. I think I usually see down in the depths of Storm League where I am, I think you still see generally Q build across the board on Jaina, but if I may have to ask about the Ice Fury 1 build here, if the interview at the end of the game pans for it. So we will jump back over to me here and find out what's going on with these teams, try and get into a lobby. Hopefully these teams put on a show for you folks there in game number 1. Looking for game number 2. All right. And it looks like we do have a lobby. We'll get these pinked up here. So the ball is back into 42nd to Feed's court. They did lose map number 1, so they get the choice of first pick and or map pick. Just wait to see. Oh, that's terrible. Little banter in the chat going on. All right, so coin toss team 1 does get the choice of first pick, so it does look like game number 2. We are heading to Infernal Shrines, and it looks like it was picked up by 40 seconds to Feed here. So we will jump back over here to the map pool. So you guys take a look at this lovely thing. Make sure it's just updated. There we go. So opting for the map pick. I 100%, I enjoy map pick more than I do first pick. I think there is some really good heroes in the current meta, but I don't think anything's overpowered. I will let them know that I am ready as well. But there's something to be said, right? So in a lot of pro sports teams, you have, a lot is to be made with home field advantage. But if your team has a particular strategy on a particular map that works for you, you're comfortable on the map, you know where to hide, the rotations, the quick rotations, the camp timings, a lot can be said. That's like, I call it the sixth man theory, of a team that, necessarily, as we're in here, let's jump to this draft screen. A team, like, I don't see too many people hate Infernal Shrines. It's a really fun map, opts for a lot of team fight strategy, but you need the clear for the shrines to win the objective. But if you have a particular strategy, you push one lane with a double soaker, you can have the 4-man rotate. But if it works for you and you're comfortable with it and the team may not know how to deal with it, it can really lead to your advantage there. So I do like the map pick here from 40 seconds to Feed. So staying with tradition, we do see Bad by Design banning that Hogger first. And, a little deja vu here. And we see the Chromie going to get first banned by, 40 seconds to Feed. So we could see the Johanna ban. Johanna is really good on this particular map. I know Slice plays a really good Diablo. If 40 seconds to Feed did any sort of scouting, I probably wouldn't let Slice have the Diablo. Okay, Gazlo again, another good hero on this particular map. Can kind of get there early, set up with the turrets. But the Diva ban, they are respecting the Diva ban this time. She is really good, can zone with that the Diva mech explosion. Sonya's a good, I wouldn't hate a Sonya first pick. You can Diablo first pick, but knowing that Snag does have the Tychus in the back pocket and they didn't opt to ban it, we may not see the Diablo first pick, but I know Jinxie plays a really good Diablo as well. But we will see Kael'thas taking top priority here, getting the first pick, swapping teams here. Really good on the objective, can clean the shrine minions very well and very quick. All right, and in the 1-2 here, there we go. We do see Jinxie gonna go ahead and snatch up that Diablo, and the Tychus pick there as well. So we see the 1-2 combo of Diablo Tychus, taking away the counter to the Diablo, as well as getting a pick style comp on their own. So Diablo can devastating charge in on the wall, get the flip, and Tychus can be right there with the trait, just doing any sort of percent base damage onto the front line here. All right, and we did see the Stukov get banned third and final for 40 seconds to feed, but Althene is going to opt to lock that in this time with the May. But a little wombo combo there. If May can hit the Blizzard, Stukov with the Silence, Kael'thas with his Flame Strike as well can just do a lot of damage there. But out comes that Sonya ban. I love Sonya on this particular map. Spin to win, or if your team decides to do the objective, she has such sieging power that she can just kind of run it down while the enemy team is recharging their lives back here. So third and final ban here coming out. Could see a Leoric, could see the Johanna ban again, but it's going to be the Deckard. They don't want to deal with a Deckard here from Linehouse. Now, I know Linehouse, I don't know if he plays... I'm trying to think. I don't know if he plays Tyrande, but Tyrande is a typical healer you do see with Diablo. We could see the Anduin again. I mean, the Light Bomb Diablo could work as well. Romney's probably going to hold the last pick. They do have the opportunity to see what he will lane against here. So, gonna opt for the Dragon Mother herself, Alexstrasza, and Mephisto. Love to see it here. A lot of burst damage, but it's going to be a late game. Diablo needs the souls. Alexstrasza usually flame build. And then Mephisto usually gets that power spikes about 16 and 20. But we will see... the Mephisto, I expect Durance of Hate to come out, the APOC combo, and then Alexstrasza with all the auto attack damage once she gets stacked, and then Tychus as well. So let's see how they want to round this out. So Captain Crowley going to opt for that Cassia again, going to try and just keep Tychus under wraps with those blinds, and then Malthael. Malthael coming out, going to be able to just kind of bully Diablo with that % base damage. So really squishy here combo coming out. Malthael can do some damage, is really sticky. You kind of want some hard CC. Maybe an Uther? I wouldn't hate to see an Uther in the off lane here. But it is going to be a Blaze, another tanky front line. Does have Bunker to counter that Malthael last rites, hop in the Bunker. Or even the Kael'thas, depending if they go for the Phoenix or the Pyroblast here. So great final pick by Romedy here as we head into game number 2. Everyone here in the chat, thanks for being here. These teams are putting on a fantastic show. So let me ask you guys, we'll jump to me here for a quick second after we take a peek at this load screen. Anyone out there in chat, who do you like more? Do you like the draft from Bad by Design on the left-hand side here, the blue team, or the red team from 40 seconds to feed? It's a tough one here. I like the Shrine Clear better from 40 seconds to Bad by Design, but the team fight potential and late game potential is a lot more deadlier coming out from 40 seconds to feed here. So I will announce the right-hand side here first. 40 seconds to feed, looking to take us to a game number 3. We have Jinxie on Diablo, Snag back on that Tychus, Gibbs on the Mephisto, Romedy on Blaze, and Linehouse on the Dragon Mother. And over here in the blue trunks, looking to end this in a 2-0 fashion, we have Bad by Design, Poppin' Fresh on Malthael, Althene on the Stukov, Lathendra on the Kael'thas, Slice on May, and Captain Crowley back on Cassia.
Let the battle begin.
All right, and we are going to meet here for the ceremonial spray, dance, and pray, as I like to call it. Jinxie Cat going to step up and provide some vision for the teams here. Needs to be careful. Diablo is awfully squishy without those souls here in the early game. But Romney providing a decent amount of frontline while Diablo is squishy. Has a great amount of wave clear as well. Going to get the wall bang out onto Slice, and then the follow-up stun coming out from Romney, and Gibbs just going to be able to poke from safety. Going to be able to get that blink back. Oh, my fault, everyone. Thanks for that call there, Punisher. I will get back into, not the map screen, in-game. Jump back over to that. That is my fault there. Where the real action is. Thank you for the follow, Critical Nep there. Again, the play-by-play, like the old time radio there. But Jinxie Cat is going to dive in onto Captain Crowley. Is going to take a ton of damage there. and it does going to get some healing, but not enough. Gibbs does go down there. But we do see we might have a pause here. Okay, pause. I can't pause. DC. P. There we go. Alphine paused the game there. Then we'll go back to me, unfortunately. I'm sorry, everybody. Looks like we got a DC. Everyone with the impending weather that's going on, I hope you are all safe. I hope you're all warm. And please get somewhere with power. It's terrible from essentially, I think, almost every single state from the center over. And I thought it was me with the Texas weather. And there it was. No, just trust me, Doctor, you do not want to see my face for the entire match. But thanks for being here. We're going to see this. Stay safe down there. Absolutely. Coming out, Texas. Goodness, I think I saw somebody say there were 30 hours. I think 30 hours without power. I don't think I can go 5 minutes with my cell phone being dead, let alone that. Punisher, love to see it. Hope you're well today, buddy. Thanks again to everybody in the chat watching these two teams compete here. We are a current 1 game. Actually, I can probably update that. But a 1 game lead for Bad by Design. Map pick here by 40 Seconds to Feed. Infernal Shrines. We can take a look here at these level 1 talents. 4 globes already for the Mana Addict on that Kael'thas. Jump back over in the game so you fine folks at home can see this. What we're talking about. Logging back in. Apologies. No problem. Charge Strikes this time by Cassia. I love that talent. I like that talent more than the Q build. It just, I like the splash damage, especially on these areas here and these pit fights where even if you auto attack a minion, the splash damage for the enemy team, it catches, and does a 15% extra bonus damage. Love to see it. Can pile up numbers, but we're gonna see actually Circle of Life get popped here by Linehouse. Going to help Blaze. Actually, no. I said I like that combo with the Blaze if he goes the Unstoppable. So it looks like we are back. We are here. And we'll probably get the countdown here to start as soon as possible. 3, 2, 1. And here we go. So we will see Captain Crowley going to go here and rotate about onto this camp. We're going to see 40 Seconds to Feed opt for a different position here. Slice doing the best that she can to kind of zone off, get vision for the team. And in comes Gibbs. Did get taken down there in that little skirmish there in the mid lane. But we do see Snag rotating on that camp, but in comes Captain Crowley. Jinxie Cat is going to dive down here on the Slice and try and zone for her team. Gibbs is going to escape that Blizzard there. Gibbs is a little low, and on the team here with the Kael'thas and that Cassia and the Mei, they have a lot, and even the Stukov just picking that Alexstrasza into it. They have a lot of circles that can kind of disrupt Alexstrasza's healing there. So we're going to have to keep an eye on Linehouse's placements of those healing circles. Alright, so we do see both teams opting to take their Khazra camp here, and we do see the early rotational advantage coming out from Bad by Design. They are going to get the bottom Khazra camp as well. Jinxie is just going to walk straight into the back line of Bad by Design there, trying to get Alphine over to the side, but she has nowhere to go, and then unfortunately gets zoned off from the team and the healing and does go down. And 2 kills to none already in favor of Bad by Design, and the wall down already here, and they are just hard pushing. They have the opportunity. They do have Malthael getting the double soak. Did opt for On a Pale Horse, so he will be able to out-rotate Blaze. Now, Blaze did opt for the Adrenaline Stem Pack and the Incinerator Gauntlet, so it has amazing wave clear and PvE capabilities here as we see it, but unfortunately Poppin' Fresh does trade well into Romedy, as we can see here. But rotating back down here, the objective is up. We do see it go ahead and get started by 40 Seconds to Feed, but in comes the Fend and the Silence onto that healing. Gibbs is getting poked down as well, but the nice thing about him is he can get the healing, he can blink in. The Dragon Pop is going to get popped Dragon Queen, I'm sorry, is going to get popped by a Linehouse. Going to put out that big healing circle. Gibbs does get topped off, but in comes the silence. Linehouse does have to reposition here because of that blizzard. Lefendra is in there. The chase is on for Lefendra. Slice does an amazing icing in there and the boot back to peel that off, but in comes Ramadi here to help clear out these shrine minions. Lefendra does have a tap there, or at least catch that wave for the enemy team. 19-32. The first looks like the first Frozen Punisher will go over to the side. Jinxie finding herself a little bit low, does get the flip onto Poppin' Fresh, but Poppin' Fresh is in there. In comes Slice. Gibbs is blinking. The electric hula hoop damage is going to come out there, and there it is. First objective going over to 40 seconds to feed. Alright, so we do have a Frozen John Cena marching down the lane here. Let's see if they can actually trade for at least a wall here. Gibbs is going to be able to blink in, but needs to be careful because he does take tower shots there. The silence is going to come out there. Snag finds himself awfully low as well, but in comes Slice. John Cena does get a little bit of damage onto that fort there, and as Gibbs just tries to take down this wall here. In the bot lane, looks like they will opt for that wall-for-wall trade here, as we do see here. Taking a peek here at mid. In comes rotation on the Poppin' Fresh. Need to be careful. Does see Linehouse rotate up through there, and does back up there to safety. Alright, so they opt to push out the mid lane here. We do see Bad by Design opting to take their Khazra camp on cooldown here. A little late to the party here, but 40 seconds to feed is over here going to take their own. Then we do see Snag. I like this call here. Snag and Linehouse going to rotate down here to not only push this wave down, but now they have the vision. That's why, like I said, that's why it's so important to have wave clear on your team, because you can kind of get vision. So they know that the team is down here. Tens aren't online. I expect to rotate here. Slice does step up, but Jinxie Cat is in on the back line here. Does dive for it. Stukov does get the flip, but Slice is in there zoning out from the team, but she needs to find herself back in here on this point. The camp does go over to Bad by Design. Jinxie Cat is living for an absolute eternity there. Is probably going to be able to escape away for the life. Oh, nope, does get the pushback from the Mei. Linehouse finds himself a little bit low there, does get the poke. The blind going to come out, but 30 health. Does put that down. Gibbs is going to go down here, potentially. Does get the blink back, unfortunately, and does get locked down, but they do get the Cassie kill. Diving underneath the fort does not bode for anyone. They do need to be careful here. That fort is up, but Slice does try and cancel that back, but does not get it. That's a 2-for-1 kill in favor of Bad by Design, and it looks like they want to take this fort here. They have the Castle camp still alive, and that will be the first structure of the game, and Tens online for Bad by Design here. Taking a look, we do see the Phoenix again, flailing swipe, last rites, and Avalanche again, and Cassia still holding on. Can get some value with the ball lightning in these tiny little choke points. But doing their soaking due diligence. Tens now online for 40 seconds to feed. We do see that APOC. We do see that bunker. We do see the Odin. I expect... Actually, Lifebinder. Yep, Lifebinder, and there's that Durance of Hate. So they are now 10 online. I think now and the rest of the game, it's just continued power spikes by 40 seconds to feed. I think these team fights look a little bit better for them as we move on here. 71 souls on the Diablo, so the more souls we get up to 100, more health, the beefier she is. The best Diablo skin, in my opinion, there as well. No mount on that as well. Captain Crowley's going to find himself. I thought Jinxie was going to maybe try and do the APOC combo there onto Cassia, but opts to rotate up here, maybe to try and get the Poppin' Fresh, or just get some early positioning here on the second objective. And a little skirmish is going to happen here. We're going to find Gibbs going to get poked down here a little bit. Slice is going to boot him back, but the amazing Lifebinder coming out from Linehouse. Odin is going to get popped. Out comes the Durance of Hate, going to stick onto two members, but no follow-up damage. Snag does pop that Odin to push back. Bad by Design, and in comes the Arcane Punisher. It's going to get started here by 40 seconds to feed. Match score, Punisher, it is 1-0 in favor of the blue team for Bad by Design. So the wall stun is going to come out onto Poppin' Fresh. Slice is doing the best to zone off any sort of healing, but I like that bait and switch from Linehouse to, bait out everything, get dumped on that small one to pop the big one, but does get avalanched away. Snag awfully low, but they're going to get the healing from the auto attacks from the Alex Straza in that Arkle Cone in front of her. Romney's going to find himself awfully low. In comes a Blizzard. He may pop Bunker here, if at all possible. Jinxie is standing in the healing, does get the charge onto Slice onto that wall. Out comes the Valkyrie, is going to bring Giblets from the backline to the front line, tries to blink to get himself out of there, can't get into that Bunker. Bunker does get dropped, but that's a double kill for the Kael'thas, and the chase is on for Romney. Finds himself stuck and slowed into that Blizzard, and Snag is going to get just pushed back from Althine, but he is not done. Does dash back in to try and get that damage, and 30 minions and climbing for Bad by Design. All right, and the second Punisher is a Mortar Punisher. Going to throw out those spinning limbo sticks. But let's see who is going to bait this. It looks like it's going to have to be Snag, but they need to be careful because Slice can kind of blind and dive in. Not enough siege damage should break down either the mid or the side walls to follow up on this. So out comes the Odin again, trying to chunk down this Punisher as much as as possible. Wall does go down, aiming for that fountain. All right, and Snag is going to be able to receive some of that healing from the Alexstrasza there. So this will be a second fort going down in favor of Bad by Design. John Cena is going to get the leap, no damage onto that keep wall, so well done. And the offlane doing a great service here, picking up that one Casa camp. We're going to see 3 members going to go ahead and get the successful invade on the red team's Casa camp. The quest's going to get done from both Alexstrasza and Diablo there, 2 seconds apart. Talk about team synergy. 13's now online, so I think come 16, they get the percent base damage from the Mephisto, and then level 20, if they can make it to level 20, gets that silence on Durance, and that is an absolute showstopper. So we're going to see 40 seconds to feed, probably try and soak to the late game here. Only down 2 buildings. So it's not over. They're not out yet. Even talent tier here kills 7-1 in favor of Bad by Design, but it ain't over yet. Could take 1 team fight is all they need. Great vision here by Lathandra, just trying to see if they can maybe get a rotate on that Blaze. Looks like Slice is looking for the same thing. Maybe look to invade this Bruiser camp, but looks like it's going to be okay. Maybe trying to catch Blaze out of position there. All right, and rotating back down here, just some safety soak going on. We do see Althine and Lathendra opting to start that Bruiser camp, get that pushing up in the top lane. Best to do it now. I like this call here, 16s. It gives them 16s online, and since the objective is in the top lane, it really gets no push value outside because most of the enemy members will be in lane up here for the objective. But we do see Gibbs going to get scouted out there in that bush. Romney gets scouted out as well. Weird interaction, does find himself out of there, but unfortunately does run into that Valkyrie. Going to pop Bunker to save himself. I like that call there. The healing is going to come out. Out comes Flailing Swipe as well. In comes the Blizzard. So a lot of ults used there. 2 for 2. Both 50-second ults, so the economy there on those is a fair trade. We're going to see the rotate up here onto Snag. Pop Fresh is maybe going to dive underneath this, but needs to be careful. In comes Jinxie Cat, is going to catch him here, try to get the wallbang, does get the flip, but the enemy team, the Unstoppable, is going to get caught, but he does get the body blocks. Pop Fresh is going to catch a grenade as well, but is going to walk away with all of the health. Amazing healing coming out from Linehouse here underneath the tower. The Phoenix does get popped. The Avalanche comes out just to disengage for the team. Gibbs is getting chunked down, and unfortunately the Telegraph blinked back, but does live to tell the tale. And these teams are just literally scrapping underneath this fort for our own viewing pleasure. But nobody dies. Nobody picks. And then we do see 40 seconds to feed, opting for this great vision and great anchoring by Jinxie Cat here for the team. Slice is fishing around here, looking for anything that they can, ready to engage. But we do see them split a little bit. Stukov just and company taking that. They do see Malthael, so I wouldn't hate a engage top on these two, but they're going to rotate down here onto this. I like this even better. And Jinxie Cat comes in for the flank, does catch that. She does have the Q up. Oh, an amazing gravity lapse. Well timed there by Lathendra to save Althine. That was looking terrible. And comes Slice just to help with the disengage. They do have Cassia just doing her what she can up here on the Mortar Punisher. They do have to come up here, and they do clear that as well. So it looks like 40 seconds to feed is going to opt to clear the mid-wave. Romedy is doing the best he can to get the team 16s as well. It should passively get that on the way up. Looks like they were going to make a call for the Castle Camp, but halfway through to this Punisher, they need to do something. They need to make a fight happen now. Even talent here, so maybe get a pick onto Poppin' Fresh here. Jinx Cat does come in from the flank, does get the wall bang out, does get the flip back over. APOC is going to get used. The stun coming in from Romedy, and down goes Malfield. That's what they needed. Linehouse stuck in that avalanche. Out comes the Odin. Jinxie in the back line, bringing Stukov up to the front line. They do lose the objective, but they got the kills. A 2-0. Lefender finds himself awfully low. The armor is not going to be enough, and down goes Kael'thas. The flip come back onto Slice, does pull Giblets up forward, but they're off. Captain Crowley is awfully low. The Mortar Punisher just trading blows back here with Snag, popping Odin to deal with the team, and that was a 3-0 trade in favor, down a level for 40 seconds to feed, and that's what they needed. They're going to be able to burn this thing down pretty quickly, keep their top fort. Romedy needs to be careful. They do have Captain Crowley, and Slice does find himself able to charge on out of there and live to tell the tale. And great job. I think we find ourselves here in a fort. Like I said, we did see that level 16 power spike coming online here for 40 seconds to feed. All right, and Slice fishing around. Pings are coming out. Need Slice to be careful. The team is coming down. In comes Jinxie Cat. The slow is going to come out there as well. In comes the flip. I want to see some oil down from Romedy to maybe prevent some of that slow. Slice does icing her way out of there. Is going to be able to sneak out of there, as most Mays do with their lives. Just one level away from 20s is bad by design here. So, 40 seconds to feed has one whole level to do what they need to do. Poppin' Fresh trying to get some vision here on this camp. We do see these teams. Slice going to get poked down a little bit, but the Blizzard is going to come out, but Giblets is unfortunately going to eat that Valkyrie into the enemy team with that Telegraph blink back. The Lifebinder is going to come out, not timed well enough to keep him alive. Jinxie Cat finds herself kind of stuck between that rock and the whole enemy team, and she will go down, but does have souls. Will be back, but will be squishy. We do see Poppin' Fresh rotating in here to invade this camp successfully, and we will need to see 20s come online here, so we do need to see some safety soak coming out from 40 seconds to feed. All right, and we do see that Snags is going to back. They do show on this wave here, and I like this call here from Bad by Design. The next Punisher is here in the bot lane. They are looking to maybe end here if they can. They do have the level 20s advantage, and they are looking for this keep, but they need to be careful not to be fighting underneath the enemy's keep. Odin is going to get popped. The Blizzard is going to come out. Jinxie does sneak out of that, but Odin does an immense amount of damage here. Does push them back as well. Great defense just with 4 members here. Gibbs is up here now. We'll be able to provide a little bit extra poke damage, a little bit extra burst damage for the team. Romedy is going to get poked there a little bit as well, but they need to be careful. They do have that camp pushing in the mid lane on their keep wall, and then it looks like we will get that top fort down here as well. For 40 seconds to feed, they do peel back. Spray's going to come out. Love to see it. Friendly competition here from both these teams. That's done in the chat. Absolutely. That could be, if they get this win here, could be play of the game. But Malfield sneaking up there, able to save that fort. Well done. So I think the invade is on. Slice is going to find herself here, but knowing that the whole enemy team is there, Jinxie Cat does find herself kind of far forward, but does get out of there just fine. All right, and they're going to start clearing the bottom here, looking for 20s. They're going to do what they can. They're going to have to fork out this camp, let them have it. Top fort is going to fall. Defend that at the wall, and they should have 20s. Looking into potentially this final objective of the match. But we're going to see Lothendra sitting in this bush, scouting. Maybe not the particular one to scout into a Diablo or a Blaze, but they're going to head down for this Punisher, and it is a Frozen Punisher to boot. So if taken by Bad by Design here, we'll be able to shut down that fort for a long period of time. 20's just about online here, but I think they'll try and catch it here, passively get it. Slice is going to step up here, try to delay the rotation in on the team. I think they ought to just opt to give this one. Get 20s and safely defend this. They can live to fight another day. They may lose the keep here, but I don't think it's the game. Okay, I like the call here by 40 seconds to feed. All right, and there is 20s, but need to be careful. Jinxie is going to wiggle out of the grasp of that Valkyrie. Odin is going to get popped, but she does get caught in that gravity lapse. The silence is underneath it. The Lifebinder does come out, does connect here, but that silence on that Durance of Hate. Actually, he didn't opt for that. He actually opted for Mimic to get the extra damage out, and they all awfully low. Popping fresh, and Althene does able to pop that heal, but down goes Diablo as well. Gibbs is chasing into the backline, does take all of the fire damage from Kael'thas, does get the heal from Linehouse, and the awfully low Snag is going to do that. Triple kill for Snag, looking for the quad kill, does not get it, and as the Frozen Punisher marches here onto that keep, and a 4-for-1 trade in favor of 40 seconds to feed, and that's what this is why we play that game. Any team fight can happen. They will burn this down. They will be able to save this game. And I want to see what kind of advantage. That's what I want to see from these teams here. In Division B, what kind of advantage can they give themselves with a 4-to-1 kill? So lanes are pushed out into the bottom. They're going to push that one out here as well. We do see Romedy opting to push out mid lane. Also, they do have camps available. Fort can go down. They can opt for a win condition here if they just push here to keep. But, 2 members down for 7 seconds and the other 2 back for in about 10 seconds now for Bad by Design.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
So the third and final fort going down from fort or on the side of 40 seconds to feed, but it is okay. They have all 3 of their keeps still available. And now I like this. If they can get up there and push top, take down that fort, structurally wise, this level 20-minute Punisher is going to be marching down that lane. Kevin Crowley does get the scouting done here. Someone just needs to cap that. Be careful. The team is going to rotate in here. Terrible choke point there, but they will get out safely. Just a lot of friendly poking going on up here. We do see that Brewster camp walking down the top lane in towards the keep of 40 seconds to feed. We do see Malthael split. Like they know it is a 5v4 here with the Kaza camp, but they're just going to opt to save what building that they can. I like this call, and then opt for their own Brewster camp here as well. And I would assume that we're going to see Bad by Design just try and come down here and sneeze on this keep, but I don't know if they had any vision on it, but I like this rotation here. Jinxie Cat is going in for the flank. They do see it now. In they come. The other 2 members are slow to rotate, but I would assume in comes the APOC. Out comes the beautiful Durance of Hate onto that. Slice does try to ice block out of it. Everyone does dodge the APOC, but the stun will come out onto Jinxie. Lifebinder is going to come out here. Great time by Linehouse there. Did take the upgrade to go off twice if need be. Romedy does charge in, does not connect to any stun, but Jinxie is on Althene, trying to just remove Stukov from this game. The amazing amount of healing coming out, but Jinxie does get caught by that Valkyrie. The stun from Kael'thas does capture that, and down goes Jinxie. Slice finds herself a little low as well, but we may look to see an end here. Down 1 member. Slice is a little low. Nope, they will look to maybe take the objective here once it decides to pop. There it is, 30 seconds. And Jinxie Cat will be up once that thing has been active for 10 seconds. So a little early, unfortunate death by Jinxie Cat there, but not detrimental there. She will be up to help her team defend that core. Has 63 souls as we speak. APOC is down, so she will have that when she comes back up as well. The Durance of Hate is going to come out here. They do lose the camp, and that's a-okay. Nobody dies. Nobody loses a life trying to defend that. They do bait out the Avalanche. Oh, out comes the Valkyrie. Does catch Snag. The blind and the Fang going to come out, but does stay alive there with that life binder. They do get the bunker, though, so unfortunately not going to be able to have that for any last rites here. But we do see the Odin. Jinxie Cat marches down the lane to join the team. Does have APOC in tow. Slice finds herself a little bit low. Stun does come out onto her from Romedy. The healing coming out. Dragon does get popped. Odin just chunking damage onto Crowley down here. The swipe is going to come out to try and negate any of that healing from that giant circle. Gibbs blinking and doing the healing. The teleport from Jinxie. In comes the APOC combo. She finds herself awfully low, but that APOC, the stun, there goes Stukov, there goes Diablo, a 1-for-1 so far into this. Linehouse is just opting. Out comes the Avalanche again, pushing Snag back. Gibbs trying to blink away, get some of these Shrine minions, keep himself up, but they are right there on it. Linehouse is going to try and get that Lifeliner, but unfortunately it does not time out well for him, and down goes Ramadi as well. A 3-for-2 trade in favor of Bad by Design there. We do see 3 catapults already chunking the core down at 69%. Nice, as we do see Bad by Design finishing up this Punisher here, and as it will march, we will see GGs get called here.
Blue team has summoned a Mortar Punisher.
All right, Nping's coming out, trying to help Linehouse clear this bottom. And let's see where Bad by Design wants to go. Are they just going to march down bottom, maybe try to end here? Now, Diablo is up in 10 seconds. Blaze and Mephisto back up in 20. So they are waiting for them to show up in the top lane to deal with that Punisher. I like this call here. They are split. Stukov is on the way back. We're going to see Malthael just grabbing camps here. So, you know, they do have the Mortar Punisher, and it is just Slice and Captain Crowley looking to maybe try and end here against the full frontal force of 40 seconds to feed. Gibbs does bait that jump from the Punisher. Keep is still alive. Maybe bait it back to the core there a little bit, but it is only at 36% health and armor, and the Punisher's getting chunked down, does get the leap back, so this game is not over. Premature GG's being called. Happens to the best of us sometimes, but potentially a call we question later here as the match plays out from Bad by Design. But Malthael doing Malthael things, grabbing the macro pressure. Camp is pushing here in the bot lane. They do aim to get this keep. Out comes the Valkyrie, not being able to connect with anybody. But the Durance of Hate is going to connect on that Cassia, and down she goes. Full souls now online from Jinxie. She is an absolute beast here at this point. Does pop the APOC. Slice does find herself caught. Snag does dash forward to try and seal the deal on that. Needs to be careful there. Is eating a bunch of flame damage from the Kel'Thas. Does dodge the gravity lapse. Gives blinking in there to get the damage done. Snags is relentless here in his chase. Out comes Lifebinder. Linehouse just says, go, baby, go. Get these kills. Gibbs is going to be able to get the top off on the hill, but Poppin' Fresh isn't done yet. Wants to end this game. Jinxie peeling for the team. Slice is on the rebound here. Onto that Telegraph Blink. On to Gibbs. And the damage is going to come out. The last rights is going to come out as well. Down goes Gibbs. Healing is going to come out. Try to time it well. Ramadi awfully low, trying to take damage from this Cosser camp. Clear this turret as well. The silence is going to come out onto Jinxie, but not so much so. Slice is chasing down Linehouse, but may find herself kind of out of position here. Does have the icing to get out of there. Ramadi is going to step up here. Does get poked. Out comes the Odin, and the full shield is back online onto this core for 40 seconds to feed. They aren't done yet. They are aiming. Out comes the Phoenix here to seal a deal on this third and final keep. A full Explorer's core for 40 seconds to feed, but they are playing their hearts out here, trying to push out these waves. They need a team fight. They need to get some structure damage here. In-app saying can't end 3v2. Mouth has no core damage, and the tank. Yes, I agree, but I think they could have went with the Punisher, and Cassia went Charge Strike, so Cassia can do, I mean, we're sitting at 36%, so instead of being split, I think at least with Charge Strikes and May, I think they may have been able to end there, but you know what, again, I think that call will be something that we discuss here a little bit later. In comes the full team. Ramadi's going to find himself kind of stuck out of position. Does meet the full 5 team. Does pop Bunker. In comes the rest of the team. APOC is going to get popped here to help that peel. What an APOC from Jinxie. The stun is going to come out. We're going to see Jinxie get caught into that Valkyrie. Ramadi does go down, unfortunately. The other two members, Snag and Linehouse, getting pushed back with that avalanche. McGiblets is in here blinking, trying to provide some poke damage, but Slice is on that rebound here, trying to just take care of Gibbs. The blink does come out. Down he goes again. Snag finds himself awfully low as well, but their 5 members are finding themselves awfully low, and I think that will be GG. 3 kills in favor of Bad by Design, and the core falls here. 36. GG's coming out. Well played by both these teams, but the 2-0 victory in favor of Bad by Design. right, so let's jump over here to this match summary. Taking a peek at some of these stats. 28-minute game, 18 kills to 11. It felt that close. A lot of poke damage coming out. I mean, again, just Snag on that Tychus, just doing an insane amount of damage. 651 amazing stat line, and then just Captain Crowley on that Cassia, 512 and 3. Just an insane amount of damage coming out and healing as well. I mean, we saw Alex Straza, into this team comp that can punish circles, just doing 158k healing, and then that's Dukov as well. So just tremendous match from both these teams. It's the first one. Teams got to find the synergy. They have to find the continuity, and I'd hope to see these two teams battle out again, and hopefully opt for maybe a different outcome next time. But both these Soak Gods doing their thing. 28k on a 28-minute game. That's 1,000 XP per minute. But well done, both these teams. Take a peek here at talents, and then we'll see if we can get an interview from Alphine. But I do like the PvE build from Blaze coming out there on this particular map. Full W build coming out from Alex Straza. And, you can go E build on Alex Straza, but her healing output is really low, really limited until level 20. And then, on a map that could work on a map like Volskaya that lends itself to being a late game map. Infernal Shrines can end pretty early, but I mean, with this particular time, we did get to 20. But just well done, both these teams. Hope to follow them both on their journey on season 11 here. So let's jump over to me here, and we will whisper Alphine. See if we can get an interview. All right, and we will get Alphine. Hello, Alphine. How are you feeling after that victory?
I'm feeling really good, and I'm just more excited I didn't lose power.
Yeah, so we were discussing a little bit in the behind scenes as we were setting everything up that you do live in Texas, and I know we all hope that you were doing well, you're staying warm. But yeah, glad that you didn't lose power. But yeah, congratulations on winning week number 1 of season 11.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get into this. We'll start with game number 1 here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Looking at that draft, just how you guys went into that particular map, what you guys like on that map, because I think they gave you first pick on both of those times.
Yeah. We were just kind of picking comforts at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's a small map and Pop is really great on his Diva, we were able to at least make use of that since they left her open. And since it's small, Diva can just kind of weave in and out into the lanes and stall, but also like double soak if for some reason we had issues.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was just a lot of comfort picks at that point, and just we weren't really expecting the double tank with the Tychus Johanna.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out in their favor. Often they kind of picked us off a couple of times, but I think we did pretty okay with our rotations as well, and kind of getting the advantage with Pop being able to hoard all of his gems at the same time.
Yeah, like to your point, I mean they ended up banning Diva in game 2 from Pop. Was just able, like you said, able to sneak away so many times. I think at least 2 or 3 off the top of my head with sub 100 health with all the gems.
Yeah, we were so worried. Like comps were like, "Oh no, Pop is gone," and he's like, "No, I'm out." We're like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. Fantastic. And they did have a little bit of a rotational advantage there in the other game with Johanna being able to do that double soak, but you guys brought it back post level 10 with those team fights. But just that boss play as well, marching that down. But with you guys banning Gaslow and Hogger, are those just two things you guys don't want to deal with, or is that something that you guys maybe scouted?
It's more we didn't want to deal with it. We tried scouting, but with my power being out, I couldn't scout as much, and just work for other people. Like we didn't have a lot of time, so it definitely was just something we didn't want to deal with. Again, because Tomb is so small that like Hogger can get away with murder at that point with how close all the lanes are and him just popping back and forth. And I mean, if they're willing to run like an ETC Joe, like if they ran like the Gazlo, a Grav Bomb in those tight corners would have been the end of us at that point.
Absolutely. All right, and on to game number 2, Infernal Shrines. NGS's favorite map. I think that's usually ends up being the most played map every single season. Opting for the Kael'thas, first pick. I love that first pick there by you guys. Putting Mei back on Slice. Unfortunately, Jinxie did take the Diablo. Were you guys looking for the Diablo and it was picked away from you, or she was Slice looking for the Mei the whole time?
What were we looking at? I mean, I think Diablo was an option, but we weren't really too concerned about it at first. Like I brought it up, like, do we want to just ban it then? But we weren't that afraid of it, so we were just like, it's whatever at that point.
All right, that is fair. Let's see here. Game number 2, but I love that team comp. You guys kind of won that one. It felt like you guys were in most control in game 2, but I do want to take just one more final question. With that call, you guys had the Punisher pushing the top lane, and you had Mouthfeel split. You had Cassia and Slice still available. Just kind of what were the comms there? Were you guys looking to end? Because you did have the you had you had Winions on the core.
We were really unsure, honestly, about what to do with that. Because like Leth and I were down, so the Stukov KT weren't there. And I don't think. I mean, Mathael doesn't really have a lot of siege potential, so he was like, I'll just go take camps and we'll try to do what we can. But also with like the Tychus in general and having Odin, like that's such a huge siege save for them that they were able to kind of handle what we were throwing at them at the time. So we were kind of unsure because we were playing it a little safe. We weren't trying to all of a sudden stagger, especially like I said, because I was down, so we had no heals at that point. And I'm sure it was frustrating for them, but it was also frustrating for us at the same time because we're like, well, we can push bottom, but like we should probably just stick with the the Punisher because like what are we doing? So we were a little confused, but we were just like, let's just bring it back, wait for everybody to come back and take some fights that we need to.
Yeah, it ended up being the correct call there, but I was even saying, like, this one might be one that we talk about a little bit later, but it worked out. Sometimes it's easier just to go for, like you said, go for the safe call, and then just, live to fight another day.
Yeah.
So I think that will be all of the questions for you. I will turn it over to you for shout-outs.
Oh, first of all, thank you for taking the cast. Awesome to be casted again. Shout outs to Bad by Design. Thank you guys for dealing with, my uncertainty, but also just, we came out today and we did really well. And shout out to the other team. I mean, like Jinxie and the others, they played great and it was fun, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Good luck to you. Hopefully I can pick up a couple more of your games and follow you guys throughout your journey here. And again, congratulations and being undefeated so far in Season 11.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so we will disconnect from there. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me here on this evening. Thank you for all the subs, the bits, everybody. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here and supporting NGS. I bid you adieu. Again, if you like Casted Hots, I will plan on doing that here. You can see me rage a little bit in some Storm League now and then, but majority of the time, I just like casting NGS here as well. Dax_Hots as well over on Twitter. You can find me there, posting memes and all that other fun stuff. But again, until next time, thanks for viewing.